It's Reagan and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. Would you believe it? We are officially into August reading, which can only mean one thing. It's fall now. I declare it so. We are officially kicking off my fall TBR and I could not be more thrilled. I haven't fully decorated for fall yet. I think that'll be happening in the next coming weeks, but fall reading has definitely started. Fall candles are being lit. I'm fully buying into the delusion. I know it's not for everyone, but if you're familiar with my channel, August is fall around here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and chat about the 2 books I hope to read over the course of this vlog. So to kick off my fall reading, I feel like I'm starting with a bit of a bridge book, meaning this is, I think, perhaps summery, but it also centers like witches and magic and romance. It's a cozy fantasy. It's the companion novel to A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which I read and loved last year. So I'm so thrilled to finally be reading the new installment, which features a magical inn. So once I get all of the good feels from this, I'm gonna move on to something a bit darker, which is a Fae reimagining of A Tale of Two Cities. I read a book that had clear references to the French Revolution very recently, and I want more of that. So Tale of Two Cities retelling, obviously with like Fae vibes. H.G. Perry is an author that I really want to get more into this year. I feel like based on the things that she's released, very much historical fantasy with Fae influences. It just feels like things I would really like. She also appears to be like very underrated. So I will keep y'all posted. I picked this up recently and I'm pumped. You know, I've just declared it fall in overalls and a short sleeve blouse, but you know, the vibes are here. They're staying for the next 6 months. I can't wait to read and craft fall TBRs with y'all. So welcome to the vlog. I'm thrilled. I'm gonna be playing some Switch later on as well. It's just gonna be like such a good day, you know? Before we can get to reading though, I obviously have to make myself some lunch. I'm just gonna make some quick avocado toast. I have some frozen ciabatta that I get at Central Market in the oven, and now I'm just gonna make my little avocado mixture. So let's do it together. I also have like a little bit of feta I want to use up. I think that's going to be delicious. All right, let's get to it. So first things first, a little red onion. Let's see how lucky I am with this avocado. I try not to cut myself. I had to put it in the fridge because I waited a little too long on this one. Let's see if I saved it or if we're doing something horrifying. Ah! Beautiful, it's gonna be a good day. Avocado. Some red onion. Salt. Pepper. Garlic powder. Red pepper flakes. Olive oil. And then obviously limes. And lunch is served. Hello, not even gonna lie to y'all, it's the next day. I vlogged my lunch and then did not pick up my vlog camera after that. But good news is it's Saturday, so we have a lot more time together today. And also I have been reading. I picked up my first book of this vlog, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I've read a quick 100 pages, and so far this is the cozy, charming fantasy book I was hoping it was going to be, so it's definitely delivering on that front. Give you guys a bit more information. This follows our main character, Sarah, and she is a very powerful witch, or she was, because 10 years prior to the start of this novel, she basically resurrected her great aunt from the dead, which resulted in her losing like the majority of her power. She was also like kicked out of the Witches Guild and lost access to the information that perhaps could have restored her powers. So now for the past 10 years, she's been living and working in this magical inn that she runs with her great aunt, and it has this spell that only makes it findable for people who really need it. So it's like this sweet, comforting, cute place, and that's where we find Sarah at the beginning of this book. We find Sarah, her great aunt Jessamine. There is a talking cursed fox. There is a skeleton rooster that got resurrected with her great aunt Jessamine. There is a young man who considers himself a knight and dresses up as a knight. A young boy named Theo who's been taken in by this inn, and like various other figures in and around the town. Like it's a very cute, like Stars Hollow core inn situation. We're cooking, we're vibing, we're helping people who live here. The environment is like very isolated, and it's just very charming. Like right away we get a sense that the Witches Guild, bad, they kind of have bad energy. The leader of the guild, bad energy. But Sarah's trying to make do, and everyone around her is also hoping that she can see the spell to help her restore her powers. Enter in another main character named Luke, and he is a magical like historian, and he works at the library, and he comes to stay at the inn because of his boss with his younger sister, and they all begin to like have this very charming dance around each other. Sarah and Luke also have kind of a past, and a lot of misconceptions about each other, and it's just so far been like very charming, very cozy, very cute, basically delivering on all fronts that I was hoping from this cozy fantasy book. I just really enjoy this author's writing. I feel like she, one, creates great settings that you want to absorb a cozy fantasy story in. I feel like the scopes of her stories are great, so nothing feels like underdeveloped. And also she has magical world building. Like she has, you know, information on like different types of spells, how the magic works, and all of these types of things, like the politics within the magical institutions that exist within England, which I think is really, really cool, because again, it doesn't feel like something that you necessarily need to have in a cozy fantasy, but I feel like it adds more complexity and interest to the story overall. But yeah, I love this magical inn. I wish I was reading this book in that magical inn, but alas, I'm here at my house. But it's just, you know, cute and fun, and it's again exactly what I was hoping for. And I had really high expectations going into this because I really loved A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I know this is gonna have like a poignant emotional message at the end, but I also know it's likely a safe read, you know? So that's that. 100 pages. I'll for sure read more today. I'm hoping to finish this book tomorrow. It reads so fast. And then I will start my second book of the vlog, but I'm actually gonna go put some shoes on because Clay and I are doing a classic weekend activity, which is obviously going to Costco. So let's go do that. I just got back from doing a little walkie walk, hence why I'm wearing this oversized jumper so you can't see all the sweat. But I'm gonna do some picking up whilst I cool down, and then we're gonna settle in for a cozy rest of the day. I have another reading update for you guys because I'm flying through Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. It's super duper duper cute. I hope to finish this today. I'm gonna get a nice cozy dinner in the oven, get my house situated for some rotting. But let's do some picking up because I have so much laundry I've been putting off putting away. So that's what I desperately need to do. So let's do it together. Hello. I just got a roast in the oven, very Sunday core, and now I have bananas to use out. So I'm gonna make these like mini personal pan pizza, personal size like banana breads for Clay and I, because that just sounds delicious. And it's fun when you have like a little mini banana bread sitch. So I got all my ingredients out, including my bulk size of chocolate chips, and we are going to make this banana bread. The recipe I'm using, which I'm just having, is Butternut Bakery chocolate chip banana bread. I'll have it linked down below. I've used it before. It's very delicious. Melted butter. I'll do 2 bananas. An egg. Some Greek yogurt. Splash of vanilla. My mini vessels available to me are miniature pumpkins. So let's fill these up. And we're gonna top them both with some chocolate chips. And then we're gonna throw these mini banana breads in my mini oven. Duh, the way my little mini cakes go. I started at 350 for 20 minutes and we'll just see what happens from there. 1 little pumpkin banana bread complete. Time to eat this and continue playing The Wind Waker. Hello. Sunday early evening reading check-in. I am making really good progress on The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. There are lots of different factors that have been making this book an enjoyable read. 1, the centerpiece of this book is obviously Sarah and Luke. Their camaraderie, their friendship, their possible romance, also though their individual journeys based on their own personal backgrounds. For Sarah, she has been struggling with this identity of not having her magic, also this pursuit of trying to obtain her magic once again to feel valuable. She also has a complicated relationship with her parents. Luke has been taking on an immense amount of responsibility to take care of his sister, who's also autistic. His parents are also not the best and out of the picture. And they've been able to find a lot of sense of safety with each other, and that's a big part of this book, and I'm really liking it. The thing also I will say with Sangu Madana's books is that she's really great at having kind of, again, your main characters and the main relationship at play, but there's such a lovely cast of characters as well, supporting characters that provide different types of emotional moments. Obviously, we have Jasmine, who is Sarah's great aunt. We have other secondary romantic plot lines. We also have a lot of kids in this book, and it's so sweet to see all these different types of relationships and get to know them, their backstories a bit more, and seeing this sort of unusual family unit begin to form, but like, wow, is it like a beautiful family unit? All taking place again in a cozy inn that I just want to move into. But again, all these lovely character moments are paired with a magical mystery of our main character trying to unlock this spell. Like, she has the spell translated, but it's a very strange spell. So like, she needs to find things. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt to fit the rules of said spell. So there's like a little bit of a mystery element at play too. I love the magical politics of this world. I think it's the right amount of conflict, but also like world building fantasy that just like makes this a cozy fantasy, if you will. The perfect level of stakes, but it's still very much focused on the vibe and the character moments and like the emotional arcs we're going through with those characters. I'm 2/3 of the way through now, 215 pages in. Again, I hope to finish this book tonight. I think I will be able to, just because it's such a breezy read. Like, every time I pick it up, I'm charmed. It's just really stinking cute, you know? It's just just a super adorable read, which is exactly what I feel like it was promising me when I got it. So, and to that I'll say, shout out. Dinner tonight is this gochujang roasted pot roast. It kind of looks crazy, but I promise it'll be Very good. And then I steamed some broccoli, some rice, and some green onions. Let's compile a plate. And dinner is served.
찍고 싶었는데 속상할까? 네, 앞에 있었으면.
We've got a reading update on our hands, folks. I finished A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which is 334 pages. I really liked this book. It was cute, it was homey, it had romance, it had found family, it had magic. It really delivered on the promise of what it was trying to achieve, I feel like. If I had one complaint, I would say the back third pacing felt a little quick. Like, I actually think this book could have been a titch longer to really flesh out the storylines. Like, all the storylines it included. But I still found the whole thing entertaining. It was cute. I would recommend it. I'd probably give it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did give the first one 5 stars. So I guess it wasn't as good as the first one, but it still was a lot of fun and very, very cute. So take that what you will. From there though, I did start A Far Better Thing by H.G. Perry. I read the first 30 pages of this, and it's definitely way too soon to be saying this, but sometimes you just know. Like when you read I read like the first page of this book and I was like, oh, I see. This feels like something I might love. It's dense, it's deep in its historical references. It's also so wonderfully referencing Tale of Two Cities. And then all the Fae elements that have already been introduced so far. So good so far. It just really captured me in those first 30 pages. And the thing is, like, I still don't fully have my grasp of the story, but our main character was basically kidnapped by the Fae as a young child. So in his place, there was a changeling, which is what happens when human children are stolen by Fae. They leave behind a creature that looks exactly like them. Our main character has since been sent back into the human realm, and he works as a lawyer in London. It's like 1780. And we are introduced to him while he's like hungover and working this court case for his boss. And lo and behold, the person on trial is his changeling. It looks just like him. And that's sort of how the story opens. And I don't know, that was a very convincing hook. Pulled me in, made me curious. Like, the tone is dark, the vibes are there. Like, 30 pages, I've seen a court case, I've seen people digging up bones in the graveyard for dissection. Like, it's got all of the historical vibes that I would be wanting from a book like this, but TBD, because I, again, have so much left. But I'm actually gonna sit down and read more of this now. But I've read almost 400 pages, finished one book, started my next book. Things are going well. Things are going well. I'm gonna play more The Wind Waker tonight. I'm like very into that right now, having a great time. So there's that. Dinner round 2, and today I didn't forget the kimchi. Let's go watch The Real Housewives of Miami now. Good morning. I'm up, I have a cup of coffee. I'm gonna do some reading. But after I drink this coffee, it's time to head out because I'm getting my hair done today. And I think I'm gonna get big, so cheers. Hello, I'm back from getting my hair done. Do you wanna see it? 3, 2, 1. It's me. I am fully brunette now. And I got bangs. But I didn't cut my hair. The bangs were the compromise to not cutting my hair, because this is actually very long hair for me and I'm curious how long I can take it before it drives me crazy. But yeah, I was able to gloss out the bleach for now. It'll definitely fade, but basically bringing down my natural hair color all the way down. So this is, I've never had so much of my natural hair color at this shade before, so that's exciting. I did get a coffee, an afternoon coffee. I'm feeling so tired today. Not my day energy wise, or brain wise, but I definitely owe y'all a reading update. I have read more of my book, A Far Better Thing. I am high-key, low-key obsessed with this. This is so good so far. I need to read more before I do another reading update, but it is delivering essentially on every single front I could have wanted it to, and I'm so vibing with it. I couldn't be happier. So that's super cool, and I'm really happy about that. And that's my update. Okay, toodles. Hello, I've changed because Clay and I are going to head out for a little dinner in town. A new restaurant opened, and they do like a restaurant version of the McDonald's fish fillet sandwich, and there's literally nothing else I could want more in this world. So I've been waiting patiently to have a reservation there, and it's finally happening. But I wanted to do a reading update first because I'm loving A Far Better Thing. It is so up my street, and I know this is a book that I feel like it's either going to be your vibe or it's not, because some people might read this and think it's slow and it's a little dry in its dialogue, but for me, picking up a historical fantasy novel that's utilizing the language and tone of the historical setting is all I ever could have wanted. And I'm not even saying that they're speaking so incredibly old-timey, but they're also not sounding particularly modern. Like, people are calling each other wretches, those types of things. It's similar to how I felt when I was reading like Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and it adds to the ambiance of what the author is trying to achieve. And I appreciate it so much because historical fantasy, popular, I love historical fantasy, but I do find it distracting when like modern curse words are used, or like modern dialogue or styles of joking. And it's just nice to be in historical fantasy that's trying to be historically somewhat accurate for the vibe and setting. 2, a fae story where the fae aren't hot. I love a hot fae story. Don't get me wrong, that's not even a criticism against that. I love when the fae are hot and falling in love with mortals. But it's also quite refreshing to read a fae story where the fae are sinister. It's everything wrong and twisted and disturbing about this alternate magical realm, and everything that's coming from this realm and infecting mortal kind is dangerous and fascinating and twisted and strange, and I love that that's the tone. I also love that we have a main character who is, by design, not your typical hero, and he is not a good person, not a bad person. He is a person who has been broken by the reality of being stolen as a child, raised in the Fae realm, experiencing great loss at an early age, forced back into the mortal realm to work as a lawyer and also do the bidding of his Fae masters because he has no choice. But you see him try to rebel and ultimately get his revenge. And his character is just like so likable, but you also like root for him to make better choices because he's so hard on himself, both like emotionally and physically. It's just really good. And it's weird to say like realistic because this is a fantasy novel centering Fae, but it just has kind of that gritty realism to it that I really like. And the French Revolution setting, fantastic. And the clear references to A Tale of Two Cities, also so good playing out in this. But even just the backdrop of the French Revolution is great. And it's like subtle. It's not like the main stage. It's not like our characters are like major patriots or playing a major part in the revolution. But like the revolution touched everyone. And the timeline of this book is pretty long too, which again worked for it. Anyway, I'm just rambling on and on. I've read 2/3 of this. I'm really, really, really liking it, and I'm for sure gonna be reading more H.G. Perry this year because this is the kind of stuff I like. I feel like I've been craving something like this, delivering something like this on all fronts. It is so good, okay? And now I'm gonna go eat a fish fillet sandwich, fancy style. Gotta go. Good morning. That fancy fish fillet sandwich last night was delicious. And now it's the morning and we're gonna sit down and get some reading in. My goal is to finish this book today. I have about 150 pages left and I think I can do it because I'm obsessed with it. This is so good and it's only getting better. And I don't even know how it's gonna end, but I'm excited and a little scared. Hi, I have made some excellent reading progress this morning and I just wanted to pop in and say, I'm loving this book. This maybe is one of my favorite books of this genre I have read in a long while. To speak more about it, I don't know, there's just something about our main character, Sydney. I really appreciate how this book is paced out. It's taking place over a large expanse of time. And I feel like the author does a really great job of being in the present, focused on Sydney's goals. He's also not necessarily fully transparent with us, so there's some great twists and turns, but then also we get moments of the past, because like the past and how it's motivating the present are like key elements of this story. the pursuit of revenge, the trauma, the pain, the lost love, and also how Sydney moves through the world now is all completely informed by his experiences growing up in the Fae world. And it's like heartbreaking to see, but I feel like it creates such an emotional backbone to the story. And also then seeing him make friends in his own way, which was an unexpected part of the story, but I think works really well, is like doubly sweet for all of that pain, you know? I also feel like the author is showcasing human characters with human flaws operating underneath like the will and expectations of a more powerful force in a pretty interesting way, and seeing how there's like small acts of rebellion, how all of them are like doing their best to try to buck these powers and expectations, I think is like a really thoughtfully done element of this book. And we're coming into the home stretch, and I will also say I have found this book to be very engaging, like very hard to put down. Like every time I've picked it up, the plot has really pulled me in, and it's just been like really well done. And I really don't know how this book is going to culminate, but I think based on the tone of the story, I don't necessarily think it's going to be like happy-go-lucky, because nothing in this book has been happy-go-lucky. But it is just so stinking good so far, and I am really excited about it, but I do need to finish it. I think I might make myself a cup of tea and sit down and do just that, and we will wrap this vlog up with 2 books read. Not bad. I really want coffee, but I also don't want to give myself like too much caffeine in the afternoon. What should I do? What should I do? I have a solution. No coffee or caffeinated tea, but lemonade. This will solve all of my problems. I just want a nice little bevy, little pick-me-up, but I'm trying to cut down on my afternoon caffeine, you know? Delicious. That's so good. Update: the end of this book is maybe destroying my life, but like it's also incredible. I'm also unwell and stressed out. I finished A Far Better Thing by H.G. Perry. And when I tell you the ending of this book was so freaking good, the culmination, the arc of this entire story was amazing. Usually the endings are my least favorite parts of books. Sometimes it's hard to bring home like your themes, your point, and like wrap it up in like a satisfying bow with like interesting emotional complexity and all of those things. A Far Better Thing did that and more. I was hooked in the final sequence of this book. I was on the edge of my seat. I was committed. I was anxious, and just the ending, it couldn't have been any better. I wouldn't change a thing about this book. 5 out of 5 freaking stars. This was so good. I'm gonna be reading more H.G. Perry this fall. Like this is gonna clearly, she's gonna be like a special project for me, because this book was amazing. Writing style, plot, characters, concept, execution, everything 10 out of freaking 10. And then obviously I also read A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Songyu Madara, which I also enjoyed quite a bit. I've gone on more about this book, but cozy, fantasy, good vibes, romance. Not cozy, historical fantasy, French Revolution, Fae revenge tale. Both were really excellent, but like obviously A Far Better Thing is going to be my personality for a little while, because I am obsessed with this book. It was amazing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye!